Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this Week 3 edition of the Southeast Tennessee High School Football Weekly. I am your host, Jeff Cade, and I just want to thank you all once again for tuning in this week on FYNTV.com and the FYN TV app. And we got a great show lined up for you tonight. Patrick Bacoon from the Chattanooga Times Free Press is back this week for his weekly segment where we kind of break down what happened last week and looking ahead to this action, the action that's coming up on this coming Friday night. And joining us in segment number 2 will be Joe Varner, or Cowboy Joe Varner, as a lot of people around here know him as. He is a part of the Coca-Cola Red Zone on Talk Radio 102.3 and also co-host of Sport Talk. You can hear him 3 to 7 every day with Scott Earthquake McMahon on WGOW. So looking forward to having Patrick and Joe join us here throughout the evening to kind of break down high school football and talk about just some other things. So please stay tuned for that. And also coming up in the final segment tonight, we will announce the week number 3 winner of our Southeast Tennessee High School Football Weekly 97 Sports Promotions Performance of the Week. So definitely stay tuned for that. A lot of nominees to sift through, a lot of good performances, and like I said, we'll announce that coming up toward the end of the show in the last segment. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and bring in our guest. He's been a weekly guest of ours since the very beginning, and want to just glad to have this guy on. Patrick Bacoon of the Chattanooga Times Free Press joins us. And Patrick, how's it going tonight?
Oh, it's been a great day, man. Thank you for having me on again, and look forward to big week 3 of football. And we'll be in the same place Friday night at Wayne Turner's old stomping ground. The Tiny Rams going against Marion County, so that's going to be a region title kind of atmosphere there Friday night. So I'm already ready for Friday night, and it's just Wednesday, so that's awesome.
You couple that week 3 action with the start of the college football season, especially around here. You know, Tennessee plays when this show broadcasts. It'll be here within the next hour. So it'll get going at 7 o'clock on Thursday night, and then you got UTC taking on Wofford at home this week. So football around this Southeast Tennessee region. So definitely a lot to look forward to for sure. And speaking of a lot to look forward to, let's kind of dive into week 2's action here. Patrick, just to, we'll kind of sift through these scoreboard real quick. Baylor defeated Ensworth on the road 35-17, and you've seen this guy quite a bit, Patrick. Whit Muschamp. He had a pretty solid night, if you want to call it. 2 incompletions and 0 interceptions on the road. A pretty good night. 23 of 25, 274 and 2 touchdowns. And we know about Caleb Hampton, almost another 200-yard game, 24 touches, 193 yards. So. It's good to have, just like any level of football there, Patrick, we know this, that if you have a balanced offense, especially that Division II AAA level, you're definitely going to do some damage, and Baylor kept it going there. And really, I guess the game of the week is this second game here, was that Bradley Central Walker Valley game. If we could play that video clip, just a few highlights from that game. This was our game of the week on the Coca-Cola Red Zone last week. We were there throughout this game, and, Bradley Central was looking to, keep their winning streak against Walker Valley going. At home, they had never lost to Walker Valley at Bear Stadium in history, and they were looking to keep that game going, or that streak going on Friday night. And it was just a back and forth type of game. Patrick, I'm sure you kind of saw Gene Henley's tweets and just kind of seeing the flow of that ball game. Bradley Central turned the ball over 5 times, and Walker Valley built up a 10-point lead, or a 9-point lead there in the fourth quarter. And you're thinking, okay, what's going to happen? Obviously you can see right here on some of these highlights, they had the fake punt pass from Wilson to Gorey there to get things going. But, Walker Valley's new quarterback, I'm sure you've seen him before too, Schwartzel. What did you think about both of these? Because this was a game set up for offensive points, and yet defense and special teams seem like to be the catalyst for that game.
Yeah, it definitely was a lot more low scoring than I thought it would be. And Evan Schwartzel, he impressed me, though, with one of his touchdown throws inside the front left pylon. Just he throws a really good ball, and he challenged some of Bradley's talented defensive backs that they like to pride themselves on having. So I think Walker Valley proved that if they can put just a full, complete game and keep going and create turnovers, they're going to be a team to watch out for in Class 5A and make a run at Ray County and the likes of McMinn County, those guys. And for Bradley Central, they almost gave that game away. And that's what Coach Floyd said at the start of the season. We just need our quarterback to not lose this game. So they came close to losing it just with those turnovers, and they're going to have to really clean those up if they even want to beat Cleveland this week, because you got to look out for Cleveland even this week because they've been playing good defense last week against McMinn County, and they've got kind of some motivation now coming off a big win after kind of upsetting loss to Red Bank. So Bradley Central's got to watch out for a second week in a row.
Yeah, no doubt. And like I said, scoring those final minutes, and then they set for this field goal here. With about 7 seconds left, had great field position, took advantage of it with no timeouts, ran the clock to perfection, and got that field goal near at the very end. 22-21 was the final score of that game. So definitely a great atmosphere. And I know for Coach Akins and Walker Valley, man, just trying to get that monkey off their back. Winning at Bear Stadium, they're going to have to wait another 2 years for that chance again. But yeah, and just let's just kind of sift through these real quick. You look at a lot of these games right here, Patrick. I guess a couple that stuck out to me as far as kind of surprises was CCS shutting out South Pittsburgh 41-0. South Pitt has not been shut out since 2011, which was a 3-0 loss at Knox Grace. So that goes to show kind of how dominant the South Pittsburgh is. But another one that stuck out to me as well, like I think you mentioned, was Cleveland bouncing back from that Red Bank loss to defeat McMinn County 6-3. Anything there besides those two games jump out at you?
Yeah, I thought Notre Dame, they had a bounce back after the loss to Walker Valley. They came up against the Hickson team that had started the season with some momentum, and Notre Dame's sophomore quarterback threw 4 touchdowns and really got his receivers involved. And a kid named Dylan Ventrov for Notre Dame, he's a standout linebacker, one of the best I've seen this season, and he also caught 2 touchdown passes. So you've got a much improved Notre Dame team that's got just some success out of the gate now that they can keep improving on. And then Chat Prep got their first win in their program history. Joe Banks is the coach there, and they've got just all freshmen and sophomores this year. So that was a fun school bus ride back from Copper Basin for them, just celebrating history for them too.
Yeah, no doubt. And a guy we're going to see on Friday night, Patrick, Tyner quarterback Josh Jackson, another solid game, 12-16, almost 300 yards once again, 283, 4 touchdowns. So think about it, through 2 games, he's well over almost 600 yards passing, 27 to 35 attempts, which is about 77%, 8 touchdowns. Not too bad. So we'll definitely see more of that on Friday. But if we can go to the next slide here for the remaining of these games, just looking through some of these right here, I guess the one that kind of sticks out is McCallie getting win number 18 in a row over a really talented Woodward Academy team coming up from Georgia to play in what they're calling the Open, which is I think that series can definitely open up and have more teams like Woodward Academy coming up here to play our local teams. But I guess looking at this list of games right here, I know you're at Brainerd and Howard on Saturday, but anything jump out at you from this second group of finals from last Friday?
I thought it was interesting Boyd Buchanan cruised the way they did too. I thought that game would be a little bit closer, and it really intrigues me now that Boyd Buchanan has a chance to show their power this week if they can beat CAK. And I think Gary Rankin's bunch can do that. They've had just great off season, and those kids have gotten so much stronger in that weight program they're running there, and they've got a good quarterback this year, and I think they can beat CAK. So that would put Boyd in the top 2 or 3 teams of their classification. And of course, you're looking at Lipscomb Academy, but that's huge for Boyd's program just in year 1 with Rankin if they could win that game this week.
Yeah, no doubt. And just one more set of numbers. I know you like numbers kind of like me, Patrick. At least I think you do. But for the sake of this segment, we'll say both of us love numbers. Polk County, 84 points through 2 games offensively, giving up 20. So definitely Coach Davis. I know we talked about it a little bit last week, but you got to give Derek Davis and his staff a lot of credit for getting that team turned around. I know they started 2-0 last year and didn't really have the season they wanted, but that's a pretty solid 2 weeks to get things going. I know it's not against great competition based on probably what some of the prognosticators are probably saying, Sequoia, but it's still a heck of a way. Anytime you start 2-0, it doesn't matter what the schedule is. That's still a good way to get some momentum on your side. But and you mentioned, Patrick, that CAK Boyd Buchanan game. That's going to be on our week 3 schedule. If you want, we can go and put those up there. Yep, game number 2 on this slide right here. One interesting note about this game, right? Obviously, we know Gary Rankin, the new head coach at Boyd Buchanan, and just the success he had while he was the coach at Alcoa. I got to thinking, I was like, when was the last time, that a Gary Rankin coach team lost a region game? Because this Boyd CAK game is a region game, and CAK has given Boyd fits over the last few years. Well, I want to give the 5-star preps team and Jesse a lot of, for some insight and a step in the right direction here. The last time that a Gary Rankin coached team lost a region game was Alcoa in 2011. Can you guess the opponent, Patrick?
Oh, man, that's tough.
I'll give you one hint. It's who they're playing on Friday night. It was CAK defeated Alcoa in 2011. So what a crazy stat that is, that the last team that beat a Gary Rankin coach team was CAK, and that's the very first game that Gary Rankin has in region as the new coach at Boyd Buchanan. So that game definitely sticks out to me, to see if CAK can kind of book in, the winning streak that Rankin's had in region at Alcoa and Boyd Buchanan. So we'll see how that goes. And I guess another couple that stick out to me from on this page right here, obviously we know the Cleveland Bradley Central battle for Bradley County Part 2. We got Part 1 last week when Bradley Central defeated Walker Valley. So I think Cleveland kind of getting some momentum back on their side. And, I know it wasn't any kind of offensive, output that we're used to seeing, but still any win, especially against a solid McMinn County team, is definitely a good way to get momentum going into that game against Bradley. And I guess the last one that kind of sticks out to me on this one is Silverdale and CCS. Can Silverdale beat CCS back-to-back and contain Boo Carter? What do you think about any of these on this screen right here?
Yeah, I think that what you just said, Silverdale CCS, that was an awesome matchup last season with Brett Rogers just going absolutely bonkers with close to 500 yards of total offense, and then Boo Carter was at 200-plus yards at halftime, and Silverdale found a way to kind of not shut him down the second half, but I think Boo only had 90 yards in the second half, and Silverdale won that game. So I think this is a game where Boo Carter just goes absolutely crazy this week. I think he's going to have some rushing touchdowns, receiving touchdowns, and he may even return a kick, or if he gets his hands on the ball defensively. That kid's just one of the most special players that's come through this area in a while, and just can change a game completely. And he's got more weapons around him this year with a good quarterback that's slinging the ball really well. And so I think Chattanooga Christian's a team to really kind of be scared of this year a little bit when they have it all flowing together.
Yeah, no doubt. Like we mentioned, obviously, that Cleveland Bradley Central game, Bradley looking for the county sweep once again. So definitely a lot of storylines on this first page. And, one thing, we mentioned a couple of these playmakers earlier, the Baylor hosting Knox Catholic. Knox Catholic's kind of a hit or miss team. They've given Baylor fits, and Baylor's had other games where they've kind of just put the hammer down and took it to them. So I think that's an interesting game right there, just based on the talent on the field alone. So let's move to that next slide here. And rounding out around here, our schedule here for the week, a couple of a lot of region games getting cranked up, and obviously we're both going to be at this Marion County Tyner game, and we were talking before he came on air. It came out that Marion County's tailback is that suffered a knee injury, I think, last week against Sequatchie County, but regardless, it's a season-ending injury, so he's out. So we'll see kind of how Coach Chandler's defense is able to kind of, whether they want to send more pressure to the quarterback or just see how they attack this offense now that the Cordova, I think is his last name, is out for the season. So, and then one other game, I think you mentioned this, Chattanooga Prep getting their first win in school history. What better consolation, or what better way to celebrate it than going on the road to take on a 2-0 Heritage team? So, besides any of these, I guess the only one that sticks out to me is Ray, McMinn County. What about you? What game on this page right here kind of piques your interest besides that Marion County Tyner game you're going to be at Friday?
Yeah, definitely have to say NBA at McCallie. That's just two powerhouses trying to show who's the, I guess, favorite early on this season to win the state championship there. And I think NBA could beat McCallie, but I know Ralph Potter last week made a lot of great adjustments in the second half to win that game against a really good Georgia team. So if you're playing some of Georgia's best, I would say you can play some of Tennessee's best too. So uh, I think McCallie finds a way to win that game, but it's going to be a lot closer than a lot of people think. I think NBA's improved a lot even from the past years when McCallie handled them for the state championship. So that's kind of not upset alert, but there's a lot of people actually thinking NBA can beat McCallie right now.
Well, it definitely wouldn't surprise me because even at the Division II AAA level, as much as McCallie has dominated the last 3 or 4 years, there's always an NBA or an Ensworth type game that kind of slips up and makes it a lot more interesting than probably anybody would think. So I think that's definitely one to circle there. And like we mentioned last week, if you're with the Woodward Academy McCallie game at Finley, if you're in the area looking to see a lot of Division I talent on one field, that's definitely one place I would definitely go. But I guess and we mentioned this before the show as well. Let's go and bring it up real quick. That the region, or in 2A, that region there with Marion and Tyner has another interesting, region game as well. Bledsoe County going to Meigs to take on the Tigers in Decatur, and that could be kind of an upset alert, I guess, in the fact that Meigs is really good at home, and I think Bledsoe could definitely there and at least put a scare in them and possibly get a win. What do you think about that one right there as well?
Yeah, I think Bledsoe has a good run game. They ran for about 260 yards last week, and uh, they're going to not be scared going into Decatur. I think uh, that's a game where they could definitely surprise some people with Meigs County kind of trying to find their identity still early this season. It's not the same scary Meigs County team we've seen the last few years, so they're still trying to establish kind of how they're going to play this season, and it's going to be a really good game. So there's a lot of good games on the slate this week. I even think that Ray County McMinn County game will be close too. So there's a lot of stuff that we can look at and kind of pick apart, and it'll be fun looking at who won these games this week too.
Yeah, no doubt. Looking forward to seeing the Jaden Miller against Caleb Martin show there in that region battle in 5A. So, Patrick, I want to thank you again for taking the time to kind of help us reset last week's action, look ahead to week 3. Kind of just like every week, kind of tell the people out there kind of how they can follow you and absorb your content and get more information about high school football and just sports in the Chattanooga area in general.
Yeah, you can go to the timesfreepress.com. We have our preps page there, and you can find all sorts of high school football stories and other feature stories from other sports. And if you follow me on Twitter at pmacoon, I'll be tweeting just throughout the week of different things. And I'll have a feature story on a kid from Tyner this week in Friday's paper that people should check out too. He's got a really cool story. One of their senior standouts there that's overcome some adversity. So that'll be in Friday's paper. So we got to plug that one a little bit too.
Yeah, we will for sure, and jockeying each other for the best spots on the sidelines in the end zone for those Twitter videos for sure, right? So because we'll be there as well for our Coca-Cola Red Zone game of the week. Should be a great atmosphere there at Bob Evans Stadium and Wayne Turner Field, and looking forward to seeing you in person. It's always good when we cross paths on site. So I just want to thank you again for joining us this week, Patrick, and we'll talk next week. All right?
Absolutely, go Vols!
Yes, sir. Go Big Orange. Patrick Bacoon with the Chattanooga Times Free Press. Want to thank him once again for his time for our weekly segment, kind of getting you set for the coming week's high school football action. But we're going to take a quick commercial break, and on the flip side, we're going to be joined by Joe Varner, also known as Cowboy Joe, on Talk Radio 102.3 and the Coca-Cola Red Zone to dive into some high school football, radio talk, and just some other things he's got going on. So please stay tuned. You're tuned in to Southeast Tennessee High School Football Weekly, presented by Team FYN Sports.
97 Sports Promotions specializes in custom football mini helmets for any occasion. From gifts, player awards, banquet decor, and more, 97 Sports Promotions has you covered. And coaches, if you're looking for premium full-size decals for your game day helmets, the team at 97 Sports Promotions can do that too. Visit 97sportspromotions.com or call 865-318-1242. 97 Sports Promotions, proud sponsor of the Southeast Tennessee High School Football Weekly Performance of the Week.
At Circuit World, we offer a wide selection of major appliances, name brands like Whirlpool, LG, Frigidaire, and more. Looking for furniture? Come by and browse our showroom or check out the Endless Aisle, a touchscreen kiosk with thousands of options. Need electronics, gaming computers, laptops, desktops, tablets? We have it all. OLED or QLED, 4K or high def, we have the selection to get you the TV of your dreams. And don't forget, at Circuit World, your credit is always good. So ask about our convenient payment options and 120 days, same as cash. Come see us today at one of our 5 area locations.
Chattanooga Funeral Home, Crematory, and Florist, a Dignity Memorial provider, has been dedicated to service since 1933. With 4 funeral home locations, including East Chapel in East Ridge, North Chapel in Hickson, Valley View Chapel in Ottawa, and East Brainerd Chapel in East Brainerd, along with 2 cemeteries at Hamilton Memorial Gardens on Highway 153 in Hickson and Chattanooga Memorial Park in Red Bank. Call 423-698-2541 or visit their website at ChattanoogaFuneralHome.com. Celebrate your life or that of a loved one with a funeral and memorial service befitting the life lived. Chattanooga Funeral Home, Crematory, and Florist.
Are you looking for expertly decorated gifts you'll love with your custom design or logo? Graphic Expressions in Blue Ridge is your go-to place for custom apparel, accessories, gifts, and much more. Graphic Expressions is located at 3640 East 1st Street in Blue Ridge, or give them a call at 706-946-4605. Graphic Expressions, unrivaled customer service, pure brand awesomeness.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Gary Thacker Insurance is a family-owned and locally operated insurance agency that has been proudly serving North Georgia and the Chattanooga area for 25 years. If you're looking for an agency that is family-oriented, lives and works in your community, and is focused on making insurance less complicated, give my friend Jeremy Thacker and the team at Gary Thacker Insurance a call at 706-866-8283 or visit them on the web at GaryThackerInsurance.com. Gary Thacker Insurance, protecting what's important. Welcome back to Southeast Tennessee High School Football Weekly, and we want to thank Patrick Bacoon from the Chattanooga Times Free Press once again for taking time to hang out with us for the first segment. We're going to have him on every week, like I mentioned the last couple of weeks, to kind of get you set up for the high school football week coming up, and also look back at last week's action. So again, you can find his stuff at timesfreepress.com and on Twitter as well. And now we're pleased to be joined by a guy I consider a friend. He may not consider me a friend, but we'll just roll with it, right? So it's Cowboy Joe Varner. You can hear him on Talk Radio 102.3 every day during the week, 3 to 7 on Sport Talk with a guy named Quake. Not sure who that guy is, and also on Friday nights, 8 to 11 with the Coca-Cola Red Zone as well on Talk Radio 102.3. And Joseph, welcome to the program. How's it going, man?
Doing well, man. How are you?
Cannot complain, brother. Cannot complain. So I guess before we kind of just dive into just talking about just normal stuff, it's like we're sitting around the table, just kind of talking about life and stuff. But I guess since this is a high school football show, let's kind of talk about kind of get your thoughts on the season so far. We're 2 weeks into our season, and I know you don't see these games unless it's on TV or looking at any of the live streams, but you see scores coming across the board and into the studio every Friday night on the Red Zone. So anything stand out to you through 2 weeks of the season so far?
Well, I think if we're looking at last week's games, the CCS South Pittsburgh game really stands out. We'd heard some rumors, well, not really rumors, just talk about maybe South Pittsburgh's defensive line, offensive line is not where it used to be. So I wasn't really surprised by the CCS win. I was surprised by the blowout. Really, I was somewhat surprised by that. Even though Boo Carter and that CCS team, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. That was a bit of a surprise. I think Marion County getting beat by Sequatchie County last week. I wasn't expecting that. So we'll see where Marion County is going to go this year. And I think I heard you guys talk a little bit about it in the last segment with Meigs County. Not as of right now, not that Meigs County team that you see them on the schedule and you're like, we better be ready. They're still a good team, don't get me wrong, but do they have that stud that they've always had? So that's a few of the things that stood out as far as last week goes. I think there's still some question marks, really. I mean, I think Walker Valley has a decent team. They had a close game against Bradley, so I think they're going to do some good things. We haven't seen Ray County only once against Alcoa. Can you really judge a team against Alcoa? Probably not. So I'm looking forward to see what they have against McMinn County. And, there's still a few other teams out there too that we not real sure what they're going to have for us this year. And I think we'll know more after this week. You can throw Tyner in there. And there's a number of teams you can throw in there, but so far it's been a really good beginning to the season. So I'm looking forward to week 3.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And, this week and the next couple of weeks really is kind of, when region play kind of gets cranked up, that's kind of where we kind of see the separation between, okay, these guys are definitely going to be contenders once again, and these other guys are kind of lagging behind. And, I don't know if you heard this stat, Joe, but we were talking about that South Pittsburgh CCS game last week, and South Pittsburgh has not been shut out in a game since the 2011 season. So that kind of shows kind of, how, I mean, we know how dominant South Pittsburgh is, especially in their region in 1A, but I mean, it's like, man, like you mentioned, is South Pittsburgh down a little bit, or is CCS much improved from last year? And we're going to see that kind of firsthand as well when they take on Silverdale, because that was the game last year that kind of turned the season for both teams. Silverdale kind of took off, and they got a win over Boyd during that stretch as well, and CCS did not have the season they were expecting, but like you mentioned, Boo Carter is a man-child back there for him. He's definitely their playmaker. So a lot of storylines there. I'm looking forward to seeing if you have the Golden Eagle hotkey queued up for that McMinn County game, because that's going to be a great game right there with Jaden Miller and Kayla Martin going at it at the quarterback position for both of those teams. So we're looking forward to that. And so how many years? Speaking of high school football, what year is this for you for the Red Zone? How many years are you in giving up your Friday nights for the enjoyment of the Chattanooga air radio audience?
I think you ask me this every year, and every year I say I'm not real sure. I think
it's always something different.
I think it's somewhere around 2000, 2001. I'm pretty sure it's 2000 when I started. So see if we can do some math on air real quick. It's always dangerous. That's 22 years. So
not bad.
Wow. Wow. Thanks for making me feel better on a Wednesday evening. Thanks, Jeff.
Well, and no problem, man. Definitely get my shots in, getting some midweek practice before Friday night's onslaught of chair shots, as we call them, on the air. So definitely tune into the Red Zone for sure. I'll give a plug here since we're both on that. Talk Radio 102.3, 8 to 11 every Friday night. You can see all the scores as we get them at Red Zone Scores on Twitter, redzonescores.com. And you can find all kinds of information there. But, just definitely a fun, 29 years for this program. So, yeah, it definitely is a staple in the community, as I humbly say, for sure, because I'm a humble guy. You know that, Joe. Knowing me for the
Oh,
time you have,
always.
so always, brother. But I guess I guess one of the mission things I wanted to do with this program this year is, let kids kind of see that may play high school football can still be involved in something they love if they don't go to the next level. Now, obviously, people that don't know you don't know that you were a high school football player at Ray County, and you kind of kept your love for football and doing what you do for this many years, not just during the week, but also on Fridays during the red zone. So kind of talk about how you got started in that and kind of your path from Ray County High School to kind of where you are now in the radio business.
I could do that. There's a lot of stops in between that I won't go over, but I love playing football. I loved it, and I always talk about this on air. I loved the violence of it. I loved hitting people. I love putting on those pads and getting those stickers for when you had a big hit. I loved all that, and I love most importantly, it's the camaraderie, right? It's having your team, your brothers out there, and you form that chemistry, and you just form that brotherhood. And that's really what football is all about. It's about that brotherhood and knowing that your boys got your back, off the field. So when I was done, I didn't have the athletic ability to take it to the next level.
I don't see it.
I know somehow some tapes got mixed up somewhere. I don't know. I thought I was a shoe-in for the league right away, but
No doubt.
it didn't happen. It didn't happen. So after high school football, did some college, and when I started at the radio station, in 1999, January of '99, and kind of figuring out what was going on there, and heard about Friday nights, and I was asked to do it, and that was great. That was great because it does keep you associated with the game. I'm able to every now and then go out to Ray County and cover the game there, and it's just a lot of fun. You get to meet these kids who are fantastic, really good kids, and you talk to the coaches. So even though I'm not in the game, I'm still part of the game, and I think for everyone involved, that's really, really special.
Yeah, no doubt. So, during your time, I guess, from when you started in radio up until now, there's had to be, interviews or moments or, something along those lines that stick out to you more than the rest. So, I guess, just real quick, if you can give me a quick Rushmore of your favorite or most memorable interviews or moments, what would those be?
For the red zone or just sport talk in general?
Just period, man.
Just
Anytime you're
period?
on the airwaves. Yeah, yes, sir.
Well, there are some that I can't talk about, but
Of course.
that are pretty memorable, really memorable. But we've had a lot of guys on the show, what some would call famous. But I think one of my favorites was John Rocker. We had John Rocker, the former Atlanta Braves relief pitcher, who got in a little trouble for some of his remarks about a train in New York City. So. This was after the fact. He didn't come off like that at all. He apologized before all that, and he was a really good guy. We had Adam Dunn, former Texas Longhorn player, also Cincinnati Red. He was really fun to have in, and we've had World Series champs, we've had Super Bowl champs in there, and just really, it's so hard to narrow it down because. Whether you're talking about that Super Bowl champ, whether you're talking about a young lady that is trying to qualify for the Olympics in weightlifting, we had her in recently, and she was very interesting. And we have some of the seniors from high school sports in and talking to them. I know Gen X and some millennials they get a bad rap these days, but I tell you, from the people we have in our studio and that we have a chance to discuss life, discuss school and what their plans are for the future, I think we're in good hands because there are some really sharp kids out there, and I'm excited to see what the future holds for them. Now, I'm sure
doubt.
as soon as I'm sorry, Jeff. I'm sure as soon as
go
this.
ahead.
As soon as this interview is over with, I'm going to think of 5 interviews right away. That was like, oh man, I should have said that. But that's usually how it works.
Well, definitely tune into the Red Zone then on from 8 to 11 this Friday night to get more thoughts with Jack Handy style versions for thoughts with Cowboy Joe Varner here right here for sure. So if you can't think of anything, just say the day I joined the Red Zone crew as the 4th one on the Rushmore, and we'll take and go to the house with that.
Well, you had a great call this past week with the Walker Valley Bradley game with the last second field goal for Bradley. That was pretty good. We had Doc Hollywood, faithful Bradley Central caller who loves his Bradley Central Bears. He's had 1 or 2 where he's been on the phone and and all of a sudden there's a touchdown and it wins the game for him. We've had a number of those, and those are always fun. You just want to bottle those up and keep them for as long as you can, because they are so special.
Yeah, no doubt, man, no doubt. And another reason I wanted to have you on, Joseph, and kind of like I mentioned, kind of a mission I want to do is kind of have if any of these student athletes are watching, kind of see there are different ways to kind of stay plugged into your community and your program, or your love of football, than just putting on the pads and going and knocking somebody's teeth in. But another thing I wanted to do as well, this year was kind of the local aspect, right? Because obviously the one of the last great things that brings communities together, and Joe, this, just your time just being not just on the radio all these years, but being a member of this community as long as you have, is just supporting local and doing things like that. I wanted to kind of have you on and talk about the Chattanooga Burger Tour right now. If you listen to talk radio, you hear the spots all the time about the Chattanooga Burger Tour, and kind of giving these small businesses, especially during the last couple of years, the publicity they need. So kind of fill our audience in how it started and kind of what the mission statement is, and why you started the Chattanooga Burger Tour there.
Yeah, we started the Chattanooga Burger Tour pre-COVID, and we thought, there's so many places out there that have great burgers that could use some publicity, and it's a great way to be part of the community. So we thought, let's go out there. I've got a GoPro. I've got a camera or 2. We can go out there and make a whole video out of it and just really spotlight some of these restaurants and some of these eateries. And so we started doing that, and it took off. Dr. Pepper came on with us, and we certainly do appreciate them. And it's been a lot of fun. Obviously, we've had some really good burgers to taste, and no matter where you go, you're going to find a pretty good burger. We've visited so many places, and COVID hit, and things kind of got shut down. So we kind of had to go to a curbside feel for our videos, and not really being able to talk to the managers and the owners, which was one of my favorite parts, other than eating the burgers, of course. But we're getting back to that, and it's just another way that not only talk radio can give back, but just how I feel that with some of those businesses didn't make it. Some of those restaurants that we weren't able to go to and talk with, they didn't make it. So that hurts a little bit. So we just want to make sure everyone gets their spotlight, and we talk about them a bit.
So kind of a follow up on that, you mentioned you had a lot of good burgers. Is there one place or one burger that stands out above the rest so far?
Ooh, now all these questions, man. You
hard hitting questions, man.
Hey, I know.
That's right.
I know. I tell you, the river, I think it's the River Drifter at River Drifters, is really good. And you can, when it comes to a menu full of just great burgers, you can't beat Tremont Tavern. You can't beat it. They have great burgers, and the classic Merv's burger. You go in there, you won't come out with a sad face. No, you'll come out there with a full belly and a smile.
I was going to say you'll come out with a smile on your face and a couple notches, to take up the belt right there because of how much food you've eaten at these places. So,
that's a fact.
Yeah, no doubt. And just kind of where can people find information about that? They want to kind of see kind of the places you've been and the food you've tried, and keep up with that.
Yeah, Chattanooga Burger Tour on YouTube. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. So all of those platforms, you can check us out. Again, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Chattanooga Burger Tour.
No doubt, man. And, it may not be a place that you've been yet, Joe, but I think you'll say this is like, just go out and support a local business, period. It doesn't matter if they have, if it's a pizza joint or a burger joint or whatever, just go support the local place because, like you mentioned, a lot of these places shut down during COVID and never reopened. So I think it's kind of us as a community and as neighbors to kind of get out and support these places. And, because some of these, you walk into some of these places and they could be high school kids that we see in the stands, supporting their football team or in the band or whatever, trying to make tips and just trying to find a way to make money and, learn life lessons too, because, people sometimes can be difficult to deal with. I think this for sure, but that they learn these things working in the food industry, just working anything, period. And I think it's good life experiences for them. So definitely get out and just support them. Not just buy a burger, but leave a tip. Because I know they're working hard and definitely do that for sure. So I know Joe, we only have a few minutes left. Let's just I kind of want to throw a couple more things at you. You mentioned you do get out of that cage every once in a while at the radio ranch and venture out to some of these high school football games. I'm going to throw a couple of questions at you. What's been your favorite atmosphere besides Ray County? Your favorite atmosphere you've been to a game at in your time? Just I guess as the Nooga Cowboy.
I would say South Pittsburgh. It's it's just one of those places where I was there for a playoff game, and I forget the team, but it was just electric. Small town team, smaller stadium, and people were just jacked sky high. And, I'm not saying I got scared there for a little bit, but there were some people really excited, so it was fun. Yeah,
no doubt. And when the team comes out to bad company with their helmets raised up, I guess my blood pumping as a media member, quote unquote, a media member. I kind of want to run out there and jump in the pile with them. So, and I guess one last thing before we kind of get the social media plugs and all that stuff here at the very end. You've been to these games. You've been to South Pittsburgh. Your go-to. We'll kind of tie this into the burger tour. Your go-to concession stand food, and where was it?
Ooh. You know what? I had some. I went to see Alcoa play Sequatchie County at Sequatchie County, and that was 3-4 years ago, maybe 5 somewhere. I'm terrible at time frame, so I apologize. But they had some chili that was fantastic. It was a colder day, colder night, so that chili just hit the spot. I don't know what it was about it, but it just hit the spot. So Sequatchie County, good job.
Yeah, no doubt, man. But well, Joe, I want to thank you for taking the time, brother, to spend 20 minutes with us, kind of talking some high school football, your background in radio, and kind of how you're kind of putting the spotlight on some of these local businesses. Besides the burger tour, how can people follow you on social media and keep up with the happenings of Cowboy Joe Varner?
Sure, Nooga Cowboy across all platforms, and I have a website, NoogaCowboy.com, that is never updated. So, if you want to go to it, fine. If not, that's great too. Whatever. But Jeff, I want to say, man, you do a great job, not only on the Red Zone, but this is fantastic, and I appreciate what you do for high school football and just high school sports in general.
Yeah, it's about them, man. It's about the players. It's about communities. It's about them coaches as well. So appreciate the kind words, man. And since you're on here, I'm definitely gonna throw the line out there to have you on once again, because I know you'll probably never come back. So I appreciate you joining us tonight.
Anytime, brother.
All right, Joe. Thank you very much. Cowboy Joe Varner, Talk Radio 102.3, Sport Talk, and the Coca-Cola Red Zone. Again, you can hear that program every Friday night, 8 to 11. On 102.3 WGOW FM, and that's kind of the scoreboard show that's been going on for 29 years now. So definitely tune in. That'll be our game of the week every week. So tune in and give us a listen. We'll be on the flip side of this break. We will have the 97 Sports Promotions Performance of the Week Award winner announcement, and a few more things to say in the show. You're watching Southeast Tennessee High School Football Weekly, presented by Team FYN Sports.
97 Sports Promotions specializes in custom football mini helmets for any occasion. From gifts, player awards, banquet decor, and more, 97 Sports Promotions has you covered. And coaches, if you're looking for premium full-size decals for your game day helmets, the team at 97 Sports Promotions can do that too. Visit 97sportspromotions.com or call 865-318-1242. 97 Sports Promotions, proud sponsor of the Southeast Tennessee High School Football Weekly Performance of the Week.
At Circuit World, we offer a wide selection of major appliances, name brands like Whirlpool, LG, Frigidaire, and more. Looking for furniture? Come by and browse our showroom or check out the endless aisle, a touchscreen kiosk with thousands of options. Need electronics, gaming computers, laptops, desktops, tablets? We have it all. OLED or QLED, 4K or high def. We have the selection to get you the TV of your dreams. And don't forget, at Circuit World, your credit is always good. So ask about our convenient payment options and 120 days same as cash. Come see us today at one of our 5 area locations.
Chattanooga Funeral Home, Crematory, and Florist, a Dignity Memorial provider, has been dedicated to service since 1933. With 4 funeral home locations, including East Chapel in East Ridge, North Chapel in Hickson, Valley View Chapel in Ottawa, and East Brainerd Chapel in East Brainerd, along with 2 cemeteries at Hamilton Memorial Gardens on Highway 153 in Hickson and Chattanooga Memorial Park in Red Bank. Call 423-698-2541 or visit their website at ChattanoogaFuneralHome.com. Celebrate your life or that of a loved one with a funeral and memorial service befitting the life lived. Chattanooga Funeral Home, Crematory, and Florist.
Are you looking for expertly decorated gifts you'll love with your custom design or logo? Graphic Expressions in Blue Ridge is your go-to place for custom apparel, accessories, gifts, and much more. Graphic Expressions is located at 3640 East 1st Street in Blue Ridge, or give them a call at 706-946-4605. Graphic Expressions, unrivaled customer service, pure brand awesomeness.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Gary Thacker Insurance is a family-owned and locally operated insurance agency that has been proudly serving North Georgia and the Chattanooga area for 25 years. If you're looking for an agency that is family-oriented, lives and works in your community, and is focused on making insurance less complicated, give my friend Jeremy Thacker and the team at Gary Thacker Insurance a call at 706-866-8283 or visit them on the web at GaryThackerInsurance.com. Gary Thacker Insurance, protecting what's important. Welcome back to Southeast Tennessee High School Football Weekly, week number 3 edition here. I want to thank Team FYN Sports for putting this production together and kind of highlighting our Southeast Tennessee region. And I want to thank Patrick Bacoon from the Chattanooga Times Free Press and Joe Varner, Cowboy Joe from Talk Radio 102.3 again for their time tonight on tonight's show. Hopefully you go follow them and kind of take their content in and kind of support not just them, but their content as well. So I want to thank those 2 guys again for joining us and taking time to help us out here tonight. But anyway, let's announce now 97 Sports Promotions Performance of the Week Award for week number 3. A lot of great nominees, but after kind of getting with the selection committee, as we're calling them, to kind of see what they thought, came up with a guy who had a great game. We kind of talked about him in the first segment, and pleased to announce that this week's Performance of the Week Award, presented by 97 Sports Promotions winner, as Whit Muschamp, the quarterback for the Baylor Red Raiders, and on his performance against Innsworth on Friday. As we mentioned in that first segment, he went 23 of 25, 274 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions in a big win on the road for the Red Raiders taking on Innsworth. You can see a couple of his highlights here from that game on Friday night. So I want to once again congratulate Whit Muschamp, quarterback, Baylor Red Raiders, for being this week's 97 Sports Promotions Performance of the Week Award winner. And Whit, you're going to be getting a custom mini helmet trophy type thing from 97 Sports Promotions. We want to thank Doug Carter and the team there for providing those for not just for us but our winners as well. And if we can just go to slide number 8 here, just remember too, weekly we are going to we give out this thing every single week. So if you have a player, team, whoever that you thought had the best performance on Friday night, just go to our Twitter page at SETN Weekly and nominate them, or you can use the hashtag 97POTW for 97 Performance of the Week. So, a lot of ways right there to let us know who you thought had the best performance. And like I said, there were several nominees. Obviously, we talked about Josh Jackson, the quarterback for Tyner, with another nearly 300-yard performance on the night, 8 touchdowns throughout his first 2 games. We're going to get a dose of him on Friday night against Marion County, so he might be up for it once again. But like I said, go to at SETN Weekly on Twitter or use the hashtag 97POTW to nominate your team or player for the 97 Sports Promotions Performance of the Week award. So, but anyway, just want to thank you guys once again for tuning in this week and kind of supporting us. And if you want to find us on social media, you can definitely do that. As I mentioned, you can follow the show at SETN Weekly. Again, that's at SETN Weekly. You can see it right here on the screen, and that's the show account. Or you can follow my personal Twitter account at the Jeff Kate. And like I mentioned every week, you'll see posts throughout the week for our Center for Sports Medicine Game of the Week, for the Red Zone, and just some stuff, promoting the show as well, kind of the build up to what we're going to look at for the coming week. And you might find some, obviously, Southeast Tennessee stuff. You'll find some, UTC stuff, getting geared up for the mock season, and Tennessee kicking off Thursday night at Neyland Stadium. So definitely get out and support your local teams, not just high school but college as well, because that's what this time of year is, right? It'll be the fall weather before you know it, and it'll make it even better. So just want to once again thank you all so much for tuning in and for sending feedback and that stuff. We definitely take that seriously. We want to have the best product. Just like the teams on the field, right? They want to have the best product on the field. We want to have the best product here, on the Southeast Tennessee High School Football Weekly and myself personally. So thank you so much for just your support and just tuning in this week. And just remind you to stay tuned for Inside the SMC and the North Georgia High School Kickoff Show coming up next from Team FYN Sports. Have a good night.
97 Sports Promotions specializes in custom football mini helmets for any occasion. From gifts, player awards, banquet decor, and more, 97 Sports Promotions has you covered. And coaches, if you're looking for premium full-size decals for your game day helmets, the team at 97 Sports Promotions can do that too. Visit 97sportspromotions.com or call 865-318-1242. 97 Sports Promotions, proud sponsor of the Southeast Tennessee High School Football Weekly Performance of the Week.
At Circuit World, we offer a wide selection of major appliances, name brands like Whirlpool, LG, Frigidaire, and more. Looking for furniture? Come by and browse our showroom or check out the endless aisle, a touchscreen kiosk with thousands of options. Need electronics, gaming computers, laptops, desktops, tablets? We have it all. OLED or QLED, 4K or high def. We have the selection to get you the TV of your dreams. And don't forget, at Circuit World, your credit is always good. So ask about our convenient payment options and 120 days, same as cash. Come see us today at one of our 5 area locations.
Chattanooga Funeral Home, Crematory, and Florist, a dignity memorial provider, has been dedicated to service since 1933. With 4 funeral home locations, including East Chapel in East Ridge, North Chapel in Hickson, Valley View Chapel in Ottawa, and East Brainerd Chapel in East Brainerd, along with 2 cemeteries at Hamilton Memorial Gardens on Highway 153 in Hickson and Chattanooga Memorial Park in Red Bank. Call 423-698-2541 or visit their website at ChattanoogaFuneralHome.com. Celebrate your life or that of a loved one with a funeral and memorial service befitting the life lived. Chattanooga Funeral Home, Crematory, and Florist.
Are you looking for expertly decorated gifts you'll love with your custom design or logo? Graphic Expressions in Blue Ridge is your go-to place for custom apparel, accessories, gifts, and much more. Graphic Expressions is located at 3640 East 1st Street in Blue Ridge, or give them a call at 706-946-4605. Graphic Expressions, unrivaled customer service, pure brand awesomeness.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Gary Thacker Insurance is a family-owned and locally operated insurance agency that has been proudly serving North Georgia and the Chattanooga area for 25 years. If you're looking for an agency that is family-oriented, lives and works in your community, and is focused on making insurance less complicated, give my friend Jeremy Thacker and the team at Gary Thacker Insurance a call at 706-866-8283 or visit them on the web at GaryThackerInsurance.com. Gary Thacker Insurance, protecting what's important.
'97 Sports Promotions specializes in custom football mini helmets for any occasion. From gifts, player awards, banquet decor, and more, 97 Sports Promotions has you covered. And coaches, if you're looking for premium full-size decals for your game day helmets, the team at 97 Sports Promotions can do that too. Visit 97sportspromotions.com or call 865-318-1242. 97 Sports Promotions, proud sponsor of the Southeast Tennessee High School Football Weekly Performance of the Week.
At Circuit World, we offer a wide selection of major appliances, name brands like Whirlpool, LG, Frigidaire, and more. Looking for furniture? Come by and browse our showroom or check out the endless aisle, a touchscreen kiosk with thousands of options. Need electronics, gaming computers, laptops, desktops, tablets? We have it all. OLED or QLED, 4K or high def. We have the selection to get you the TV of your dreams. And don't forget, at Circuit World, your credit is always good. So ask about our convenient payment options and 120 days same as cash. Come see us today at one of our 5 area locations.
Chattanooga Funeral Home, Crematory, and Florist, a dignity memorial provider, has been dedicated to service since 1933. With 4 funeral home locations, including East Chapel in East Ridge, North Chapel in Hickson, Valley View Chapel in Ooltewah, and East Brainerd Chapel in East Brainerd, along with 2 cemeteries at Hamilton Memorial Gardens on Highway 153 in Hickson and Chattanooga Memorial Park in Red Bank. Call 423-698-2541 or visit their website at ChattanoogaFuneralHome.com. Celebrate your life or that of a loved one with a funeral and memorial service befitting the life lived. Chattanooga Funeral Home, Crematory, and Florist.
Are you looking for expertly decorated gifts you'll love with your custom design or logo? Graphic Expressions in Blue Ridge is your go-to place for custom apparel, accessories, gifts, and much more. Graphic Expressions is located at 3640 East 1st Street in Blue Ridge, or give them a call at 706-946-4605. Graphic Expressions, unrivaled customer service, pure brand awesomeness.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia.